Good afternoon, my fellow Blues. How are you doing on this glorious, sunny, blue sky day? It's Wednesday, sorry, it's Thursday. England are kicking off in half an hour, and we've got a little dose of Manchester City daily news for you to go through before you get your pints in and enjoy the game. I hope you're well. Let me know in the chat how you're getting on. If you're joining live or you're watching after the game later on, let me know how you are, what you make, of course, the headline, because this is your Man City daily news show. We're going to be talking Savio today, one of our academy prospects who's attracting Premier League interest, and of course looking forward a little bit to the England game. Hello to Anime Fan in the chat. It says, yo, I'm new here. Welcome, my friend. I hope you are good today. Do feel free to say hello in the chat if you're watching for the first time. It's a nice community over here. Everyone's really nice. Everyone's sound. I would implore you, if you are new, please do subscribe to the channel. It does help. Give the video a like while you're at it and get involved in the comments. That's all I can ever ask. Of course, if you want to join the channel, be a Patreon member, that is even better. But for now, let's go. You're all absolute legends. I love you all loads. And let's do this today. Welcome to the channel. So what, I'll go talk first of all about some Savio rumours, because I'm pretty excited by this, man. I think Savio is a really interesting player. Now, I'm going to go find the article. Where's it gone? It comes from James Ducker. James Ducker at the Telegraph, who says, my understanding is Savio to Man City will be permitted because the deal with Troyes was agreed before the new UEFA multi-club ownership guidance issued to clubs on May the 14th. Also, it's a deal between Troyes and City, not Girona, where Savio spent last season alone, and City. Girona, like Nice, to put into blind trust. Essentially, what this means is that United fans have been in a tiz because they're not allowed to sign Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice over in France, because they're both going to be involved in the same UEFA competition. Now, United fans have been going, but City and Girona are playing with each other in the same UEFA competition. The point is, he's not coming from Girona. City signed him from Troyes before these new... oh, hello, Ruben. Just walked up here. Sorry, he's just distracted me. Before these new rules came into place, I was in the middle of a very pertinent point. My son worked in there with an apple. Thank you for that. I lost my train of thought. I've really lost my train of thought. Sorry, my son's trying to destroy my office. That's bad wifing there. I'm sorry. It is Ruben anyway. Say hello, Ruben. The point I was trying to make beforehand was that it's very different. It's very different. Now, City are allowed to make this deal because, once again, they're not in the same competition and they sign from a different club. Can you say City? Say City. Can you say United are poo? Mate, don't break my mic. Handsome, Ruben. He is very handsome. Can you say City? Hello. He's only like 20 months and he's already go, hi guys. Say like, subscribe. Let me say subscribe. No. Go to mummy. 1 second. There you go, mummy. I'm trying to do some work here. But anyway, I love you loads, little man. But this is a really bad timing, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. I've only got like a short video before the end of the game. Hiya, bye-bye. That was adorable for what it's worth. So, Ruben has been announced as a new signing by Manchester City Football Group. He is allowed on loan to Daddy sometimes, and all the time, actually. But right now, I'm trying to be professional. Because people will be like, I'm 16, I don't care about your baby, mate. You know, like, oh, and you also tried to knock my light over there. Thank you. But anyway, yeah, I think this is a particularly interesting bit of information, and the reason I think he could stay at Manchester City is because he won't be allowed to be loaned back to Girona. Now that is the interesting bit. The reason being is because as much as they've ratified the deal, is that, well, here's the next point. Main point is the timing of the new multi-club ownership guidance on May the 14th and Savio agreement, and not the fact that it's a deal between City and Troyes. But allegedly, the way that this is going to work is that City won't be able to make transfers or deals with Girona, they're in the same competition in European football. I actually sort of agree with that for what it's worth. I know I'm meant to go, oh yeah, City definitely should be able to do it, but I think it's fair. I think it is fair. I think this should be, if you're going to own multi-clubs, then you're going to have to accept that there is competitive laws involved, and it is what it is. That is the crux of it. You can't just use each club as a feeder club and make cushy deals between each other clubs. I actually agree with that. I think we've built our own. We built a rod for our own back there, so it's one of those things where I sort of accept it. So it is what it is. I get that. I accept it. I appreciate it. I'm not going to complain. But what this means is that Girona can't get Savio back. So he's sort of caught between a rock and a hard place. The thing is, a rock and a very comfy place is the way I'll put it. I think it's been pretty much established that his preferred place to be would be Manchester City Football Club. Now, his agent has been given a very good opportunity, as a Savio here, to make an argument that he should stay at Manchester City. The rumours were that he could consider going back on loan to Girona for another year. And I'm sure he didn't want that, but could have been slightly for it. But now, we're in a situation where he sort of might have just to stay at Manchester City because it's the only way you can guarantee regular football. He's just achieved Champions League football with Girona. So if he'd stayed on loan, he would have played another season in La Liga, which would have been great for him, while playing Champions League football. Absolutely wonderful. Now, you could argue it'd be unfair to ask him, after he's achieved that, to step down to a non-Champions League club. Why would he go to a non-Champions League club? Who else would he get loaned to that would play him regularly, but also not want some sort of deal? Largely just like sort of over it, like loaning people between big clubs is really difficult. It's very hard to loan one of your like talents to a big major club who's going to play Champions League football. It just doesn't happen very often. And when it does, those clubs feel very little attachment to the player, so they're not guaranteed to play them if it doesn't go well. So I guess the point I'm making is that there's no stability. You would not get the stability and the guarantee of first-team football week in, week out. The reason Girona would have worked so well is because, once again, it's in the City Football Group, and also because he's already an established starter at Girona, and they would play him. They'd be stupid not to. So that's sort of the guaranteed route that's now been ripped away from him and Manchester City. So what does that leave you? He could, of course, get a loan to a non-Champions League club. There's plenty of big clubs, and someone said, look, someone like a Roma wouldn't be bad for him. I agree. But does he want that? Does he want to go there and not be guaranteed, have to prove himself again? Or could he think, well, I'm actually now, by weird twist of fate, a Manchester City player, and I think I want to stay here, and I want to be a Manchester City player and prove myself. I feel he'll say, look, I want the Champions League football I deserve. I don't want to go on loan to these other clubs. You signed me. Let's give me a year under Guardiola in case he leaves, and let's see how I get on. I think personally that is the most likely scenario now, that he comes in the summer, he impresses, and he gets that chance that he deserves. I really do think this is what's going to happen, and I can't wait for it. I think Savio, look, we're signing a Brazilian winger who set the Liga on fire, like a young winger with something to prove. I mean, that to me is exciting. It absolutely is exciting. I mean, that's the kind of thing you should get behind. Like, largely, these are the plays that you want to see. Young, attacking Brazilian wingers at your club. It's just fun. And I think when City are sort of moving towards, slightly evolving the system, which you see with Doku and so on, maybe back to the flying wingers at stage, I think Savio would fit that bill. He can play on the left, play on the right. For me, I would like to see it happen. Let me know in the chat, do you think this is going to happen? Do you think Savio will stay at Manchester City? I feel it's more likely to happen now than not. But this is football. You never know what's going to happen, do you? It could absolutely be a case that we say all this and he doesn't get that. He doesn't get that move, and City decide not to. Guys, I would like to quickly give you a heads up. I will be carrying on live after this video over on TV, which is a brand new streaming platform. I'll be doing the watch along, so you want to see Phil Foden, Stones, De Bruyne, Walker, see how they get on with me and enjoy it. Click the link in the description below. Use the referral code Stephen with a V in capital letters. It's all in the description below, and join me for that. Let me know in the chat if you're going to do that. It's dead easy. It's a brand new platform, and you can join me for a chat as well. Literally, get on. phone in, have a chat with me via video call, via audio, but it'd be good to chat to you guys after this later on. So come and join me after this over on TIFO. It'd be massively appreciated. Let me know if you're going to join up or sign up. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. There's also some rumours going around about Alexander Robertson. Hands up if you know him. He's a really smart player. Let me know how you feel about if you do know him. I'll click on this link over on City Extra. It says he's attracting Premier League interest. I really like him, man. He's a good player. Last season, he helped Portsmouth secure promotion to the Championship. He was absolutely brilliant, but he had an ACL injury halfway through the year, and it did affect his campaign. He's a really smart player, this lad, you know. Look, I know we've got a lot of talented youngsters, but this guy, look, do you know what really impresses me? If you go and watch a compilation, like I shared a compilation a few weeks back of his time at Portsmouth, and they were absolutely purring over him. It's one of those things where if you did sort of body swap thing, where you just copied and pasted him onto a Gundogan-like body. The way he played is just a young Gundogan. Obviously, he's got a long way to go to get anywhere near that level, but he's a smart footballer, and I do not think it's a coincidence that he's allegedly attracting a Premier League level quality. You look at where Morgan Rogers has gone very quickly from the League One as well up to the Premier League. According to Australian outfit FTBL, Everton and Portsmouth are among the clubs to be chasing the signature 21-year-old, with several Premier League clubs and Sky Bet Championship clubs following the opening of the transfer window. Yeah, I mean, it could be a permanent thing. He's just had injury problems, but he's such a good player. Such a good player. The sporting director at Portsmouth said, he's a really good player. We like him. He's still recovering from his injury, so we have to let him pan out. But there's an opportunity to revisit those conversations. We absolutely would do. Yeah, I really like him. I really like this quote as well from John Mousinho, which is like, it's like we've got Jose Mourinho at home. John Mousinho is their coach. The manager said, for Alex and Man City, will probably wait until mid to late pre-season to see their intentions and go from there. Wouldn't surprise me massively if Alex is a part of their first team plans in pre-season. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a first team player, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a pre-season tour because he's that smart and he would deserve it. I'd be up for using some of these young players too, Matt. I don't see him staying, but I wouldn't be against it. I think he's a really smart footballer, and I'd absolutely be fine with him getting some time in pre-season. But whatever happens to him, I wish him all the best. And he's another one where I want to buy back. Do not be surprised if he signs for a lower Premier League team. Takes a bit of time, but before you know it, a year or two from now, everyone's like, this kid's really good. And he's starring from a lower Premier League team, and we're looking at him again. Putting a buyback option, and as Alternative said, maybe a 20% selling clause or something like that. And I think we're laughing there. Selling for cheap. I've always felt... Just be realistic. Sell him for a few million, you know. Nothing major, but put a cheap buyback in of 15, 20 million quid or something like that. Get yourself a potential bargain if he does really well. And everyone's happy, you know. They get a good deal. City might not activate that even then. Yeah. Some interesting quotes going around about Joe Hart and Guardiola today. Apparently he said to Pep in 2016, is it something that we can work on together or something where I need to find a new home? Pep said, I'm happy to work, but I can't put everything aside that I'm trying to do. I'm here to win. Very, very interesting quotes, man. I mean, he was very frank. He was... he said, Joe Hart said, it wasn't painful. It was frustrating. It was a great man who had a vision that I didn't fit into. He told me that as much as he admired me as a person, he didn't think he could fit into the system, to which I was like, look, I don't agree with you, but that's your opinion. Is it something we can work together? Yeah, he said. Joe said, I respect that. He was here to win. He wasn't here to give me a good career, look after me. But I'm living in the world where I wanted to play for England. I wanted to play at the highest possible level. You can't play for England being trialled at a football club. That's very humble. He said, not many people survived at City. You know, the ones that did survive, they're literally some of the best players in the world to ever play the game. And I'm all right, but I'm not that guy. Don't put yourself down, Joe. Joe, absolutely at one point, maybe a bit of humility has come with age. Joe actually, at one point, was absolutely that guy. He was a phenomenal goalkeeper. One of the best shot stoppers I've ever seen in my lifetime. At one point, he was the best keeper in the league. I absolutely, hand on heart, believe that. He massively tailed off, but everyone acts like he had one good season. No, he had about 5 or 6 where he was brilliant. Like, I do not accept this reality that people create about Joe Hart as if he was some mistake-ridden, prone, error fraud. That's not even a sentence, but it was never true. I love Joe Hart, and I will not hear bad words said against him. A quality player, absolutely brilliant. I also saw some really interesting quotes today from United's new owner, Jim Ratcliffe. I don't call him sir because I don't respect him as a sir. He's not my sir. So I'm not going to go to the sir thing. I might start doing that, by the way. Unless I respect the person, I'm fucking off the sir bit of their name because he's not a knight of the realm to me, whatever that means. Nothing honourable about him. Anyway, Ratcliffe said about City's attempts to end the Premier League's associated party rulings. He said, I can understand why they're challenging for it. I can understand why they would say that they want an open market and free market. I said, if you're not careful, the Premier League is going to finish up spending more time in court than it's thinking about what's good for the league. If you've got a government regulated at the end of the day, they will regulate, and that won't be good. That's interesting. He also talked about anchoring spending to a fact of lower clubs' revenues. Said it would inhibit top clubs in the Premier League. The last thing you want is for top clubs in the Premier League to be able to compete with the likes of Real Madrid, Barca, PSG. The reason I'm talking about this is because I feel like the Premier League PSR and the party rules and all this kind of stuff is absolutely imploding on itself. It just really is. Like, there's no two ways about it. Like, the reality that we've got here is that new owners are going to come into to these clubs that didn't agree with it. I'm sure the previous owners did agree with it, but the more it comes in and the more clubs are restricted, the more clubs get fines and the more people start to be unhappy, I guarantee you anything, it is not going to stay the same. People are going to complain, people are going to want change, and eventually these rules are going to implode. I'm not going to feel sorry for him. I think that I understand that some clubs, if they have literally like a hundreds of billions of pounds and they could just spend £1 billion every summer, there is no competitive level then. I understand that. So I'm not stupid and going to say, oh yeah, just let clubs spend £1 billion every year, like Chelsea. They got it wrong. But if you know what you're doing, you can spend £1 billion every year. You're going to win every single year. And I also not stupid to know that you can't have 5 clubs trying to spend £1 billion and everyone else not, because it just once again the league eats itself. But I don't think the solution is there currently. It doesn't feel right. There has to be some sort of way of dealing with this that everyone's going to buy into a little bit more. It's hard because I want to be realistic about it. But I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how that all pans out. Last bit of news, of course, is England play very soon. Phil Foden has started yet again on the left, as you can see there. Trent in midfield again. Weird, whatever. Stones and Kyle Walker carry on. So you got the 3 Lions for England there. Phil Foden, John Stones and Kyle Walker. Kane, Bellingham, Saka, Rice, Trippier, Mark Gay, John Stones, Walker, Pickford. It's a decent England side. Foden, I want to see how he gets on. The Gareth Southgate quotes last night were weird. 1 minute, quite complimentary, saying how England don't win if he doesn't do the job. And then essentially calling him a system player, saying that, you know, he's only ever played one style, blah, blah, blah. And implying that he doesn't know how to play a different kind of football, which is bullshit for what it's worth. Also, Southgate's been England manager since 2016. You know, what's his excuse for not implementing this style now with these players that apparently he wants to play? He's known some of these players for nearly a decade. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I don't buy it for 1 second. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go live over on Tifo now. If you want to come and join me, please do. Come and join me for this watch along over on Tifo. Sign up with the referral code Stephen. I would love to see you guys there. It'd mean the world to me. I want to see you over there. It's free. You don't have to, it's free. You don't have to pay anything like that. The referral code is just because it's an alpha build website, but you can use it on your phone or whatever. Referral code is just Stephen. It doesn't cost you anything. Join me over there. For now, though, thank you for watching. Give the video a like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let me know what you think about Savio, Alex Robertson, Phil Foden, the rules and all that kind of stuff. For now, see you live on Tifo in a minute. Bye-bye.